You want to get to social structures?
Yeah, let's get right into it.
So basically, you don't see two iron golems walking in the park having little golem children. They don't really interact until it's a sweet golem fist fight, real steel type. That would be freaking sick.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. But generally,
there's a little extra idea for you. Have an underground Iron Golem fight pit.
Yeah, like Golem fight pit.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But like what I kind of envision for social structures, we're going to talk about, what I'm going to talk about, is how you would see them in society.
Okay. I was going to talk about something similar. So because they don't have, so I guess let's make this clear, because they don't have a society or a mind really of themselves, there is no society to be had, right? It'd be like saying, what's the society of hammers? It's like, that doesn't make any sense. They don't have a society, right? They're tools. And so instead of talking about the society of hammers, we'll talk about how do hammers affect the society they're in. That's at least what I'm going to talk about, or brainstorm. And so how do iron golems affect society? And is that kind of what you're talking about too? Yeah. Okay, go for it.
So what I was thinking is iron golems don't have to be the servants to an evil wizard or like the evil person. You can have good people with iron golems. So what I was thinking is if you go to the main kingdom or something, some of the guards or the king's guard would be iron golems. Like two iron golems standing beside of the king.
Yeah, they make great guards.
Yeah, they would be insane. Or you can have them, walking around construction. They would be good, building, holding things and placing it on the ground and stuff. They are probably made for combat, but they can still certainly do those things, as all golems can. They're very strong.
Yeah.
I really just see them as guards or guardians. So if they just patrol and protect the snobby prince that makes fun of everyone, but everyone wants to beat him up, but they can't because he has an iron golem.
Yeah.
Right there. So so how I saw them was protectors, guards, helpers, workers, or this was a cool one, terminators.
Sure. Yeah.
Send an iron golem. He's
before you get into that sounds more like an extra idea, because the lore. We'll get into what we think you can homebrew, but the lore makes their guardians. They guard things. That is what their purpose is on a canon basis. It's canon that they guard things. And that's just because they can just stand there forever, right? You could say, guard this room, and it will stand there till the end of time if it is not killed. So that's very powerful, and that's what they're used for. There are other golems for other purposes. Iron golems are made to fight and made to say, you cannot come in here, I will kill you if you try. That sort of thing. So that is their main. If you're going to see them in a society, that's what you're going to see them used for. That does not mean you have to use them for that, and so this seems like you have another idea. So what's your Terminator idea?
So basically my Terminator idea is kind of if you show it, I feel if the Iron Golem has seen this creature that it needs to kill.
Okay.
The master can say, you go and kill that thing. Then it will march basically in I kind of thought of a magical link. Or it can't scan or anything, but I feel it can magically know its presence.
Right.
In the area. So it would just walk in that direction through literally anything, anyone, any buildings, doesn't matter. And it'll go and try to kill that person.
It will. Yeah. That is a risky way to use iron golems. So I would, so I guess I will support why they are used as guards, in the lore, by basically calling back to their stat block. And so what you just proposed is an awesome use, but it would be kind of like a one-time use almost, because you would have to basically plan out how you're going to get this golem back. Because iron golems don't know where you are all the time. Shield guardians are made to guard people. And so because they're made to guard people, they are able to connect to that person on a magical level that makes them able to know where that person is at all times, no matter where they are, unless they're on a different plane. We went over this in episode 6, I believe. Iron golems do not have this ability, which is why they are typically given the job of guarding places or magical items, because they don't need to know where anything is. They just stand right here, right? The building isn't going to move. So they just guard that
Unless
spot.
an earthquake happens.
Right, that's true. And if you need to find them, you know exactly where they are. A shield guardian can find you whenever you need it to.
That is true.
So if you send an iron golem out to do anything that isn't guard a specific spot, you risk losing it. And it just kind of like standing somewhere forever and it becoming lost to history.
That is true. I mean, I totally agree with you. This was just a little brainstorm thing. I mean, I kind of feel like it would do a better job than a shield guardian, though, because
it's much stronger.
It would absolutely just take a shield guardian.
Yes.
Yeah,
so there's pros and cons to a shield guardian and an iron golem.
Yeah.
And I would probably rather have a shield guardian if I was an adventurer, constantly moving around. Well, okay.
Well,
I take that back.
Iron Golem is a little like
they're
not
OP.
even like dragons can really touch them.
Yeah, that would be hard. A shield guardian would be a little more versatile, while an iron golem would be like, please win this battle for us. Thank you. Which might not be super fun depending on, how powerful your foes are.
Slow.
Yeah, but it would be kind of a flex to just have a giant metal, or should I say iron, golem just walking around behind you.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I kind of thought about is like, what happens if you just die? Does it just like chill there and like?
Oh, if the master dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will. It literally, if it is not
even the master's kid could be like, hey, could you help me out?
Well, the lore did not say anything about this. All it really says is the one who created it commands it, basically. And so the way I read that is quite literally.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I thought too.
If you didn't create it, it doesn't matter whether you're the son of or daughter of whoever. Yeah.
Sorry, little Timmy. So I kind of think like the purpose would Iron Golems be like a lich or an old king that's like, I don't want anybody robbing my tomb.
Right.
You guard this place.
Now, I'm sure an Iron Golem could be kind of refigured. Like, you could almost destroy it and remake it. However, it's a magical process, so the only thing you'd really get from destroying it would be the raw resources, and then you have to go through all the work of remaking it.
Which we'll talk about. Which takes forever.
Yeah. And so that's kind of how they can affect a society. Or that's kind of what their purpose is in a society.
So basically, the purpose is the best use of Iron Golem is their guards.
Yeah. And I'm imagining, like, on the point of, like, the masters are long dead. Like, if the master said guard this, they're going to guard it forever, whether the master is dead or not. But if they didn't say that, then the guardian is the golem, is basically just a statue at this point. It could be kind of like, wow, look at the old iron golem that's like been there for hundreds of years. We don't know who made it, but we know what it is, and
just stands there.
It just stands there. And it would be cool if one day it awakened, like its purpose was given as something that might happen in the future. So it's like, if a person with this description is born, kill them. It's like prophecy or something. Who knows?
I mean, how would it know though? It's like babies born.
It can see. So if they walk up to it, basically.
Look, my little child. Look at the Iron Golem.
We went into their. Oh, we skipped their senses, didn't we? In languages, or did you say them?
I'm thinking.
I'll say them anyway. It's gonna mess. It's hey, this is just rewards for making it to the social structure section. Yeah, so they have their senses are dark vision up to 120 feet, and they have a passive perception of 10.
That makes no sense though.
Which is interesting. You'd kind of think they have like blind sight or something like that, but they have a way of sight, and that's so like they have to look at you, and they're not perceptive whatsoever. So if you see like giant iron golems guarding somewhere, maybe let your rogue give sneaking in a try, because they have a good chance of doing so. They're not perceptive. And the languages they speak is they understand the creator. So they know that language, whatever language the creator basically instills in them. But they cannot speak that language. And that's kind of a cool way of, in my opinion, possibly figuring out who created it. So like if it's a mysterious temple, maybe if you can somehow test languages to this Iron Golem, and find out that, like, oh, Dwarvish works, then you might think, oh, well, this was created by dwarves, right? And typically Iron Golems were used by dwarves.
They're actually made, like, that's where they were birthed. That's where they came from, were dwarves. Literally, basically, only dwarves have the resources of making them, so.
Yeah, you need a lot of iron. Okay. Is there anything else you have for social structure?
No.
Okay, well then let's move on.
To enemies and allies. Well, it literally hates those stone golem scum. Hates them with a bit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Basically, the enemies
they
and
look
allies.
funny.
The allies is the master's allies. The enemies is the master's enemies.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
It's another
straightforward.
simple one.
But what I'm gonna talk about is like where you find them, like who they kind of hang around with.
Oh yeah, that's good. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, you'll mostly see them with dwarves. 90% of the time, it's with dwarves.
I love dwarves.
Dwarves, I do too. Dwarves love their guns, their pickaxes, their raw metals, especially iron golems to protect their treasure hoards.
Oh yeah.
That's what they're mostly used for, or their magic items.
Yeah, they really are like the epitome of dwarven.
Yeah,
like,
they're like dwarven constructs. Like, do you remember Skyrim? Those like the dwarven constructs.
That's where all the constructs were.
Yeah,
because it's like not only does it require an immense amount of just sheer metal or iron, right, which is ore is the dwarven trade. They also require a very skilled craftsman, which we'll get into. But they also are made for guarding things, and dwarves, being greedy and draconic in that sense,
love guarding.
Like their stuff protected. And so not only are they easy to make for dwarves compared to other races, they serve a purpose that dwarves value very highly. And so they're the epitome of a dwarven tool.
Yeah. Also, you will see them with metallic dragons and sometimes fire giants. Giants kind of clap dwarves in craftsmanship.
Yeah, fire giants.
Yeah,
do.
Basically, storm giants too. Yeah, not frost.
Fire giants do that for everything.
Fire giants are the best smiths.
Yeah,
out of everything. So literally, they will have the goodies and all the iron golems you can see.
Yeah, and maybe that's where you as parties could maybe get one.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't really know how they would, give you command of it because again, it.
You would have to make it.
You'd have to make it. Now, I guess a master could say, Iron Golem, that's your master now. And then because you said it as the master, I guess that could work.
But what happens if we say, I take that back?
Yeah, I feel like you never lose control.
You never
Unless you say that you do.
Don't listen to me ever again.
Yeah, that you might break it.
The golem just explodes.
I would say that... man, that's a hard decision, actually. Whether it would...
I don't think it would. That's one of the things it couldn't do.
Yeah.
Because it goes against all what a golem is.
Right.
So...
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll just...
And so that's why there
The Albert Bros will say that if you created it, you will forever be in command of it.
Yeah, that's why there are evil masters with, legions of them. You have to make it. You gotta work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't put your minions to it.
Can't just steal it.
Yeah, but typical things you will see the golem killing are orcs, chromatic dragons, elves, any of the dwarf enemies. So people, elves,
treasure hunters.
Treasure hunters, yeah. Basically, basically it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so obviously the Iron Golem doesn't hate or love any of those creatures. It just does its job, and so I guess you're just talking
you're just talking about
typical.
What if you had an encounter of an Iron Golem killing something, what would it be?
What would be the most likely?
Drought, Driders, Drought, things in the Underdark, like a Mind Flayer or something.
Yeah, that dwarves just get
dwarves
out.
are kind of in the Underdark too, so you'll see Underdark stuff.
All right, that's enemies and allies.
Yeah.